Hello.
Hello. Hello, hello there. Hi. Pleased to meet you. It's a pleasure and a privilege glad to know you. How are you? Hello. Hello, hello there. Pleased to meet you. It's a pleasure and a privilege glad to know you. How are you? Hello.
Let's have a party and pour out the wine.
Yeah, I've got salami and everything's fine.
Let's sing together and let out a yell. It's always fair weather when we're singing.
Hello, hello there. Pleased to meet you. It's a pleasure and a privilege glad to know you. How are you? Hello.
Hello, hello there.
Hello, 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 hello there. Hello, 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 hello. Well, what do you know? We should have done this a long time ago. Well, isn't it swell? Isn't it nice to say hello, hello there? Pleased to meet you. How are you? Hello, hello, hello there. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello there. Yes, hello. Welcome to the first virtual concert for the Musical Theater Guild of Los Angeles ever. My name is Gerry McIntyre. I'll be your host for the evening, and I hope the stream finds you. So many things I wanted to find you. First of all, healthy, safe, and excited, because tonight's show is entitled Finding the Silver Linings. Because I don't know about you guys, but 2020 has proven to be, I'm not supposed to use curse words, but I think I'm going to use the word challenging. So we need a little light and a little joy, and hopefully that is what we're going to do tonight, right in your living rooms. Yeah, so in 1996, Musical Theater Guild was founded, and I'm a founding member, which is fantastic. And I know you cannot believe I was a founding member in 1996 because I look so young. I know, it's impossible, really. And nothing. I have no work has been done. This is just natural. But it was formed so that people could see like rarely seen or rarely heard or really staged Broadway musicals. And it's done in a concert version style with scripts in hand. And we rehearsed for about maybe a day or a minute. It seems like a minute. And then we do it in front of a live audience for one performance in Los Angeles. And it's really amazing. Being in them and directing them, it is so great to see the connection between the audience and the performers, because most people haven't seen this material in years. So I'm so glad you're here, and finding the silver lining is what we all need today. We need just a little joy. There's so much burden, and I find everyone in the world today they're really mad. And I understand it. I see it, but tonight, let's let all that go. Let's just have a good time, just smile. This is the journey that we're going to take you on. That's why we're here. We needed to connect. Theater is about connection, and we haven't connected in a long time. So this is the best way to do it and the safest way to do it for now. So I think I did everything I was supposed to do in the opening, and its places, ladies and gentlemen. Take your seats, take your couch, grab yourself a fabulous adult beverage. I have one. It's a little tequila and soda. And here we go. Julie, let's see Joshua Finkel, please.
Girl Crazy premiered on Broadway in 1930 with music by George Gershwin and lyrics by Ira Gershwin. Ethel Merman made her stage debut and in a supporting role turned Ginger Rogers into an overnight star. The score is rich with songs of the American Songbook, including But Not For Me, Embraceable You, and Ethel Merman's Act 1 show-stopping I Got Rhythm.
Days can be sunny with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. Birds in the trees sing their deep love song. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot. How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams, I got my man who can ask for anything more. Who can ask for anything more? I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who can ask for anything more. Don't let trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him hanging around my front or back door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams, I got my man who could ask for anything more. Who could ask for anything more?
Yes. Yeah, listen, I mean, already, I'm smiling. So I'm already, it's doing its job. You know, we're finding the silver linings. I mean, that is amazing. I mean, I am so amazing. So our next performer is someone who I just adore. His name is James Gleason. I call him Jimmy Gleason because I can, because I've known him for about 1,000,000 years. It's such a sweet soul. And he's going to sing a song from the apple tree. And he played Adam 24 years ago. And I was in the show too. I was a mere babe, but I was in the show. So get ready for Jimmy Gleason. Here he is.
The Apple Tree opened on Broadway in 1966, following the success 2 years prior with Fiddler on the Roof. Composer and lyricist Jerry Bach and Sheldon Harnick created an ambitious evening of 3 musical one-acts exploring desire and hope. The first act, based on Mark Twain's story, The Diaries of Adam and Eve, starred Tony winner Barbara Harris as Eve and Alan Alda as Adam. In the song Beautiful, Beautiful World, Adam discovers the wonders of his beautiful surroundings, the Garden of Eden.
I see animals and birds and flowers, every color, every shape and size, moss and pebbles and a host of wonders, gleaming everywhere I aim my eyes. So if ever I'm attacked by boredom, I'll just open up my eyes to see this diversified, curious, fascinating, bountiful, beautiful, beautiful world. World, thank you very much for all I see, hear, taste, and touch. Plus, every whiff I sniff. Still, it's possible a day may come when momentarily the world wears thin. If I weary of the world outside me, I can always take a good look in. For along with every cloud and cobweb, I'm emphatically a member of this diversified, curious, fascinating, bountiful, beautiful, beautiful world I love.
Yes, Gleason. Yes. Oh my God, the apple tree. We did the apple tree, and it was, oh my God, it was so long ago, but it was so much fun. I just remember getting to sing that lovely song, being the snake, like listen closely, and it was like really Fosse-esque and delicious. Oh yes, it was a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen, a long time ago. But I'm still here. Look who's here. All right, Julie, what about our next person? Robert, to introduce the next song.
Violet is an off-Broadway 1997 musical with music by Janine Tesori and lyrics by Brian Crowley. It was revived on Broadway in 2014 with Sutton Foster and Joshua Henry. It tells the story of a young disfigured woman who embarks on a journey by bus from North Carolina to Oklahoma in order to be healed. Along the way, she meets a young black soldier who teaches her about love and courage in the face of adversity.
Raise your foot now, that's the way. You'll be moving on today. Raise the other, put it down. Now you're headed into town. Oh boy, you got a left, right. Oh boy, ain't that right? Got some years ahead to go. You'll be free if you take it slow. Oh boy, you got a left, right. Oh boy, ain't that right? Two kinds of people in this world. Some say yes and some say no. Time to say which side you're on. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Say yes and your adventure starts. Not always as expected. Say no, you'll stay apart, but you'll stay protected. You've got to give yourself a reason to rejoice. For the music you make counts for everything. Now every living soul has got a voice. You got to give it room and let it sing. My family never had too much, made the best of every day. Ate what's on our plates, you know, never threw a thing away. We kept our nightmares on the shelf, our dreams were on the table. Pass them down and help yourself as long as you are able. There's precious little really folks like us control. You can make your music from the simplest thing, and you're the one who's got to tell your soul. You got to give it room and let it sing. You got to give it room and let it sing. You gotta let it sing. You gotta let it sing. You gotta give it room and let it sing.
Wow. 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 I don't know her, but I'm gonna. It's fantastic. You see, this is what I love about this stuff, that you're in your home and you see someone singing their hearts out and giving all the love and the joy that they can, and you can feel it. I felt it. I'm sitting here with my tequila and I felt the joy and love of this actress. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Woo! This is the beginning. I can't wait. It's going well. I think it's going well. All right, here we go. Next up.
The 1946 musical, FINIAN'S RAINBOW, with music by Burton Lane and lyrics by E.Y. Yip Harburg, explores varied themes of Irish folklore and American bigotry, perhaps ahead of its time and, sadly, in light of recent events, timeless. Its rich score has many songs which are part of the American Songbook, including How Are Things in Glockamora, Old Devil Moon, and Look to the Rainbow. Harburg was no stranger to the rainbow, having written the classic lyrics to Over the Rainbow from the film The Wizard of Oz.
On the day I was born, said my father, said he, I've an elegant legacy waiting for ye. 'Tis a rhyme for your lip and a song for your heart to sing whenever the world falls apart. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow the fellow who follows a dream.
So I bundled me heart, and I roamed the world free. To the east with the lark, to the west with the sea. And I searched all the earth, and I scanned all the skies, till I found it at last in my own true love's eyes. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow the fellow who follows a dream.
Follow the fellow,
follow the fellow, follow the fellow who follows a dream.
Das Barbecue is a really wonderful musical.
The Fix is this musical about a junkie who gets sober only to realize his life was better when he was stoned.
So Seesaw is a musical that is a sequel to The Giving Tree.
I'm here to talk about a wonderful musical called The Grass Harp.
I remember Mama.
Now this is the story of two drag queens, Plain Jane and Fancy Pants.
Classics of musical theater. Plot: two married women are trying to set up their single friend with the bachelor. He's a traveling salesman. But one wife has promised her husband that she's not going to meddle in anybody's affairs, but she does it anyway. But he thinks that she's talking about herself going on a date with him.
A family that owns and operates this barbecue restaurant called Da's Barbecue. Da is grandpa, and he runs the place.
You know the one about the boy, and he goes and takes everything from the tree, and by the end of it, the tree's just a little stump.
I remember Mama more than I remember to remember my own mama on Mama's Day. That's not true. I remember to remember my mama, but I remember Mama almost as much.
They work at the same club on different nights, and they hate each other.
It's about a little village.
It's kind of like August Osage County, the musical. It's got great family drama.
What do they call it? Not a trilogy, but a sequel. It was sort of a sequel to The Giving Tree.
You know, in order to be able to eat and be able to live in their little gnome houses, you know, their own gnomes.
They see the wife, total farce ensues. End of Act 1.
Plain Jane plays on Friday nights, and she says that she has the biggest crowds.
They end up making musical instruments.
And it picks up, you know, when the boy has come back, and, you know, the tree's like mad and like angry and like, you took everything I had and now I have nothing left for you.
And, you know, they'll make oboes out of licorice, or, you know, violins out of bark and things that are strewn along the way.
Fancy Pants is on Saturday nights, and she has the loudest crowds.
Act 2.
It had some great songs like No Need for Speed, When You Got Weed.
And it all takes place in the playground.
The Crack Pipe Drag, which was this wonderful song and dance.
Everything gets explained. He says they can have a negligee wholesale.
they make harps, and the strings of the harp are made of little grass.
Lots of laughs and lots of really well-earned tears.
Little grass, little grass.
And the title song,
it's kind of magic grass.
With this seesaw that is next to the tree where all of the action in book 1 happens.
The library is open for reading.
It's got a great score by Freeman and Price.
$20 for crack, cause I can't afford smack, and I need a fix.
I'm sorry, what?
When you need a fix.
Dawes Barbecue, the place where you can be you.
Remembering mama, don't forget to remember your mama.
An older baby.
Dawes Barbecue, the place where you can be you. Dawes Barbecue, Dawes Barbecue.
They sing this whole song, I can get it for you wholesale.
They really love the grass harps, and people buy them and they end up not playing them but smoking them.
Exhales. So come get high with me if you got the money. Need a fix.
What do you mean the boy dies at the end of the giving tree?
Need a fix.
Drag duo of Plain and Fancy
Is one of my absolute favorite songs. I bring it into auditions all the time.
The men put on negligees, kick line, end of show. And that's I Can Get It For You Wholesale, or an episode of I Love Lucy.
What kind of a child story is that?
The show itself, a total flop.
It is not my job to know what I'm talking about. That is your job, okay?
It's kind of magic grass. It's a really beautiful show, and it ends on a real high. So,
need a fix.
I love that show. I can't wait to actually see it.
I cannot. First of all, I cannot. Jason Graw is just out of his mind, and I think the only thing that will help him is religion. I think that's all we should pray for him, because he's nuts and one of my dearest and best friends in the world. Oh my God, he so makes me laugh. We did Forbidden Hollywood together, Forbidden Broadway, and I have never been so bad on stage. He makes you be a bad performer, like you want to just laugh. So I blame it all on him. It was not my fault at all. But I do want to say that I got to do the last show that I directed for MTG was Hallelujah Baby, which is rarely done and rarely seen. And I did it for Arthur Lawrence, who wrote the book, and Julie Stein and Comden and Green did the music. So it was one of those things that no one really gets to see. And the thing about MTG, that they thought it would be great to do it, and they called me up to direct it. And it was just really amazing that, people in Los Angeles got to see this thing that, Leslie Uggams won a Tony Award. It won Best Musical that year. And the woman who played Mama won Best Supporting Actress. And the music being good, if you have not heard the music from Hallelujah Baby, we have time on our hands, and we can. Just download that score. It is just glorious. And it was just great, just fantastic. All right, I'm done reminiscing, and let's move on.
Lucky Stiff opened off-Broadway in 1988. This quirky musical farce launched the professional careers of composer Stephen Flaherty and lyricist Lynn Ahrens. They followed their success with the Broadway shows Ragtime, Once on This Island, and the recent Anastasia. Lucky proves that the glass is always half full.
In light of everything that's happened these last few months, I've decided that it's in my best interest to remain positive. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be positive. Everything is fine. Everything is a-okay. I suppose that one might say I'm lucky. at where I am. Think of how I made it through all of this and also you. I'm lucky. With you in my life, we'll both find out how living feels. With you in my life will be a hell on wheels. Now my fate is in your hands, and my future's on the line. Glad to know that you're so sure I'll be fine. But I'll need a lot of luck, stuck with luck like mine. With you by my side, there's nothing we won't see or do. With you by my side, I'm unafraid. Are you? Well, no matter what's in store, what can someone do but try? And if anyone should ask, I'll reply. You're one lucky stiff, and so am I. And so am I.
Wow. Yes. I love props. I love a good prop. Never hurt anybody. It's so great to hear that. I'm Stephen Lynn. I got to be in the original Broadway cast of Once on This Island, which is one of my favorite things to date in my life and career. And just you hear the, like you hear it, if you hear the beginning of that, of what it kind of turned out to be, and you hear ragtime, and God, I'm just there. And the two of them could not be nicer. Just the sweetest people. I'm so lucky and fortunate that I got to work with them and can say they're my friends. Yeah. So, shall we go on? Shall we go to the next one, Julie? Julie.
Working premiered on Broadway in 1977. It was as much a musical revue as it was a musical documentary. Based on the 1974 book by Studs Terkel, its long title gives you a clear idea of what this musical is all about. Working. People talk about what they do all day and how they feel about what they do. Stephen Schwartz directed, and with one of the creators of Schwartz's Godspell, Nina Faso, they devised the book. And in an unusual move, they hired several composers and lyricists who were hired to write the score, providing different points of views and different styles, including Schwartz himself, Mary Rogers, and James Taylor. Yeah, that James Taylor. James Taylor's beautiful ballad, Millwork, was originally sung by Robin Lamont, who also introduced the world to the song Day by Day from Stephen Schwartz's Godspell.
Granddad was a sailor, and he flew in off the water. My father was a farmer, and I his only daughter. I took up with a no-good mill-working man from Massachusetts who died from too much whiskey and leaves me these three faces to feed. Mill work ain't easy. Mill work ain't hard. Mill work most often is a goddamn awful boring job, and I'm waiting for a daydream to take me through the morning and put me in my coffee break where I can have my sandwich and remember It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, and the rest of my life. My mind begins to wander. Today's back on the farm, and I can see my father smiling at me, swinging on his arm, and I can hear my granddad's stories of storms out on Lake Erie, vessels and cargoes, fortunes and sailors' lives were lost. My life has been wasted, and I have been a fool to let this manufacturer use my body for a tool. I get to ride home in the evening, staring at my hands, swearing at my sorrow that a young girl ought to stand a better chance. And may I work this mill just as long as I am able, and never meet the man whose name is on the label. It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon gone, and the rest of my life.
Woo, yes. I love that Glenn said his name is Studs Turkel, which I love it. It's so fancy. I just call him Studs Turkel. But you know, I'm from Jersey, so that's how we do it. Working that score is really outrageous. But it's just like, you know, it's James Taylor, it's Stephen Schwartz, it's someone else. I can't do it. If I Could Have Been, though, that song, If I Could Have Been What I Could Have Been, is so Mickey Grant. Oh, I did it. My haze broke and I came through. It's Mickey Grant. She owes me a little something. Yeah, Working is fantastic. And they just did a new production in London, and Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote 2 new songs, which are really great. So that's the end of my working story. Aren't you interested? Here we go. Shall we move on, George?
Hello.
Oh, hi.
How are you, Jerry?
Was I supposed to? You guys, first of all, this is the love.
We just pop in when we want to, really.
No, listen, am I fired? Is it over?
No, absolutely not. Julie, you're muted right now, Julie.
I am muted.
This is Julia going, yay, baby, yes, and Travis Leland.
Jerry, we just were wondering if you wanted to introduce our special guest who just made it on the stream and is able to come and say hi to us tonight.
Oh my God, okay, here's the deal. I got to do Godspell, choreograph Godspell this summer at the Berkshire Theater Group, the only equity-approved musical in the country. And this man who wrote it was the most generous and giving and loving and caring, and we don't see that a lot. And I'm just so happy that he got to join us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Schwartz.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, nice to see you. Last time I saw you was in Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
I know.
We get around. Jerry did, I have to say, that he did such inventive staging for this production of Godspell because, of course, it had to be socially distanced and they had to follow all these equity guidelines. So there were like plexiglass screens between the actors and the actors. There was mask choreography about when they had their masks on and when they took the masks down. But what Jerry did with the director as well, which was so clever, is that even though no one ever touched, and there were never any of those big group moments of everybody picking each other up and doing things to one another that there always are in Godspell. The way he staged it made you feel like you were still seeing an ensemble show. It was so cleverly done. And it was very, very moving to me to see it, as Jerry knows, sort of unexpectedly moving after 6 months of not seeing any live theater at all. It was really fantastic. So thank you for that again, Jerry.
Thank you, Stephen.
We're so glad we could get you on here tonight.
Yeah, I just made it. I was seeing my parents on Long Island and helping them with some stuff, but I drove quickly up Route 684 and got here and back to Ridgefield, Connecticut in time to be with you guys. So here we are.
Thank you. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, you too, Travis.
Yeah. So, Jerry, what was the biggest challenge for you with this production of Godspell? How, talk us through something.
It's the not touch, Godspell is usually, it's very like circles holding hands, and the thing at the end when Jesus usually they do this great lift that I was just gonna steal, long live God, and they raise him up and they take him through the audience. We couldn't do any of that. So it was just, we just have to be, you have to be clever in a different way. And I keep saying that it was less like creative and more math for my brain to figure out, okay, they're 6 feet apart. They're both facing out. They can't face each other and sing. So, and if they're singing, they have to be 10 feet apart. So it was just more math for me. And, the thing about it that I just never said no. Like they said, "Do you want to do it?" I was like, "Of course." So that's what we do. Just go. All right. Well, here we go. And that the New York Times was there every day, like behind us, writing articles about it, which was also just like, just a lot. And then, of course, my friends who are lovely to say, "Oh my God, everybody's watching you. I hope it's good."
The LA Times too. The LA Times wrote about it, and came and covered it. It was national news because it was the only show.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I went to the last performance. I was going to go to one earlier, and it was canceled because of thunderstorms in the area. Because it was in a tent in the parking lot behind the theater where they were originally going to present it. So I thought, well, if I can't make this performance, I'll just go to the last one because that will be emotional. Little did I know how emotional. But at the end, the whole cast did a group hug, which I'm sure they're not supposed to do and probably never did in any other performance. But then everybody in the audience was weeping, and it just was, it was fantastic. Jerry, you did such a clever job. It was really delightful. Thank you again for it.
Thank you. The thing that I have to say about it is, we did it. We had like 2 weeks of rehearsal, just craziness, and then we just didn't know. We never had an audience. So the first audience was, they were silent. They were nervous because they haven't gone to the theater at all, even outdoors. So everyone was sitting, and I could see the back of their shoulders. Everyone was sitting in that plastic like this. So they were so nervous. And then the cast of Godspell and the audience burst into applause, and people were standing up, and that's it for me. That was it for me. That's what theater does. That's what we can do. It was so amazing just to see the audience. Just finally, they got to see some live theater, and the joy they had, and they were relaxed finally.
I walked into the tent where it was fine. I didn't know what to expect, and so you walk into this tent. And they have they set up chairs quite far apart from one another, and if 3 people bought tickets together, then there were 3 little chairs over here, And then if another couple bought, then there were 2 chairs over here and a single over there. And I walked in and I was like, oh no, this is so depressing. And, everybody scattered apart. And I thought like, oh, it's not going to feel like an audience at all. But then it's exactly what Jerry said. The cast came out. Everybody applauded. The sound of the applause sort of rang through the whole place. And you just felt like, oh yeah, I'm in a live audience again. And of course, when there was laughter, and it just sort of rang and echoed through the whole thing. So yeah, it was. I was worried about it until it started, and then it was fantastic.
Yeah.
When Travis and I talked about bringing this production up, because it is the only real, theatrical approved theatrical production in the country during COVID. I not only thought about the audiences and how it affected them to actually see live theater during this time, but also the actors. All of us have been unemployed or really unemployable for 7 months now.
Yeah.
So can either of you speak to what it meant to the actors and what they went through, and what did it feel like to do this? I mean, I can't even imagine. It's incredible.
They were the 10 of them were in a bubble. So, and we were in the bubble. Alan Filderman, the musical director, and we were all in the bubbles. So we couldn't go out and talk to have drinks or dinner with anybody. So we were all together, and they stayed together the whole time. We got tested 3 times a week. And I don't know if anyone had that cotton swab up their nose, but it's not pleasant.
No fun. It is really not fun. They're getting better at it. I have to say that the more recent tests I've had are less horrible. But man, those early tests, I think I still have holes in my brain from them.
So Stephen, it's that thing they just keep going. It just goes. And
I know. I didn't know that I like my sinus cavity went that far.
But these 10 people were so brave that there were times that they just couldn't do it. They were screaming and crying because it's like, the stage manager would say, you can't do that. You can't sit in somebody else's home base. You can't do this. You're too close to this person. So they got frustrated. And, I understand it completely. I gave everyone a break. There was a lot of crying. We cried a lot. Because to figure it out, we had to cry. And we made it work. And no one got sick. Not in the
Well, that's what I was going to say. If anybody who has an equity company, or I don't know, Governor Newsom, if you're listening, or if Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio have tuned in from New York to this program, Jerry and they did it, and you ran quite a long time, right? Like, because they extended.
Yeah,
it was a several week run, and nobody got sick. Nobody in the cast got sick. No one in the audience, to the extent that anyone knows, got sick. They actually pulled this off. So this can be done, is what I'm here to say to people who think it can't be done yet. It can.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, the theater's been around for a long time, right? And it's adapted and evolved and everything. And this is just another one of those steps. Hopefully it's temporary. And we'll see where it lands. But little by little, it seems like people are starting to figure it out. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you both.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
by the way, nice to tune in and hear working, which was unexpected. I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm sitting there listening to that lovely rendition of Millwork, and remembering going to James Taylor's apartment and having him take out these 2 yellow pads of lined paper with lyrics scrawled on them, and take out his guitar and sing this song. First of all, you're in his apartment and he opens his mouth and you hear the sound and you're like, oh my God, it's James Taylor. I mean, he sounds just like James Taylor. And he played this amazing song, which is, it's still so beautiful. to me, and such poignant lyrics. So, you know, I tried to be I was very professional about the whole thing. And then when I left, I started to cry. As soon as the door closed behind me, I started to cry.
100% one of my favorite musical theater songs. It's
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Well, speaking of which, so we have one of your songs coming up next, Stephen.
Oh, okay. Another surprise. Oh, Baker's Wife. Okay.
Yeah. But thank you both so much for being here. Can't express how nice it is to see you and to be able to do this and to have you here for this. So thank you.
Nice to see all of you. Julie, you look beautiful as always. Travis, you look handsome as always. Really nice to see you in this way. I look forward to when we can actually see each other in actual factual person again.
Same.
Yeah. Agreed.
Bye, Stephen.
Oh, so great to see you guys. Bye. Have a great rest of the evening. Jerry, thank you again. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. All right, Jerry, back to, what was that?
You guys, this is when, you know, in my life that I go, oh, you know what? I wanted this so bad as a kid. You know, like growing up as a kid, go like, oh my God, someday I'd like to meet Stephen Schwartz and people like that. And then you meet them and they're gracious and you talk to them and they call you, you're going, how did I get to be me? It's so amazing. I'm always taken aback by it. I just think it's,
I'm completely flabbergasted at how generous and kind and sweet Stephen Schwartz is. In every part, he is the most generous person, I think, in musical theater. He is so kind and so giving of his time and his talents, time and time again. It floors me every single time. He just keeps saying yes to people, and it's just beautiful to watch.
It really is. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we get to our next piece here? But thanks for letting us pop in here, Jerry, and steal some of the time.
I literally thought, oh, it's over now. It's the hosting is on.
You have a little more to go, mister.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, we'll see you later.
Okay.
Long before Wicked, Stephen Schwartz's 1976 musical, The Baker's Wife, took a bumpy out-of-town tryout road to Broadway, but never made it there. History was not to be repeated like his early 1970s successes with Pippin and Godspell. Luckily, an original cast recording was made, preserving his beautiful music and lyrics and leading to subsequent productions in the West End and in regional theaters. Paul Sorvino originated the role of the baker, whose wife has left him for another man. But he remains hopeful and positive that she will return to him soon in the song Any Day Now Day.
Come on and fill up your glasses. Let's drink a toast. Here's to the person you love the most. Mine may be missing, but let it coast. A person may leave, a person may roam. Let's drink to that any day now day when she comes home. Oh, isn't it dandy? Isn't it great? She'll be home early unless it's late. So what better reason to celebrate? Just bring me a glass, now make it an urn. Let's drink that any day now day she will return. I close my eyes and see her climbing the hill, or scurrying down the steps again. Not for one moment do I doubt she will, but I wish I knew when. So I could be ready, making everything sparkling, everything nice. Cake in the oven, champagne on ice. Much as I hate to, I may shave twice. So what do you know? Hey, what do you say? Let's drink to that any day now day. Yes, that'll be the day. help from the Beaujolais as we drink to that any day now day. Yes, that'll be the
Ladies and gentlemen, comedy tonight. Michael Kostroff, I've known him since the beginning of time. He's one of those people in my life that, he always just shows up. Even on the street, I see him just randomly on the subway, and I see him on my television set a lot, which is great. It's just so every time I see his face, it just makes me happy because that joy and that smile makes me happy. I hope you guys are having a good time because I am overwhelmed. I just can't believe this evening has been so, Julie and Travis were like, oh, do this thing. Would you like, and I was like, oh, okay, fantastic. And then, you get nervous because there's a lot of stuff and, trying to be interesting and all that stuff. But with all this, the people show up and the performers show up and Stephen Schwartz shows up. It's just joy. And, that's why it's really entitled Finding the Silver Lining, because this is what it's about. Because this day has been just a long day for me, and I forgot all about it. I just can't remember why I was mad, but I was mad before. I remember I was mad before we started, but I'm not mad anymore. Okay, Julie, should we go on to the next thing?
Hello, everyone. You're about to hear Heart in Hand, which I wrote because Floyd Collins, generally speaking, is a little gloomy, so I wanted to make sure there were as many buoyant and loving moments as possible. Enjoy, and thank you for watching.
Composer and lyricist Adam Guettel proves the point that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His grandfather and mother were Richard Rodgers and Mary Rodgers. The following song, Heart in Hand, is from the musical Floyd Collins, which premiered in Philadelphia in 1994 and opened off-Broadway in 1996. Following the story of a mining accident, the haunting, sophisticated score draws from Americana and bluegrass and paved the way for Guettel's later Broadway success, The Light in the Piazza, for which he won 2 Tony Awards for score and orchestrations.
bacon in the pan or coffee in the pot. Running real low on firewood, but we sure as hell have us some family. Craziest bunch of fools was ever begot. But there ain't no figuring what the Lord plans, and I don't want no other man's home. And as one sweet soul to another, family tries to sing lullabies to each other.
No, that was sweet. So sweet. MTG is a big family who have come and gone over the years. And it's the people who are the spirit of what makes MTG. This past year, we've lost 3 incredible members of our community. Marsha Kramer, Chris Gilbert, and John Todd. All of them were loved and respected by the MTG audiences, colleagues and friends and families across the country. And we dedicate this evening show to them, and they are sorely missed. Oh. That's just a lot. It just made me weepy. So on we go. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way. Let's see what I have to do now. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Oh, are we doing... What is going on now? Tell me what's going on. Oh, look at me. I can
tell you, Jerry. We're on our last solo song of the evening.
Oh, we're at the end?
We're at the end. We only have 2 songs left. We've got this song and then...
because you know what? I was looking at my notes and I don't have it. Because it means to get off the stage, right? You told me I should get off and say goodbye to the people?
Well, not just yet. We've got 1 more song and then you can say goodbye to the people.
Oh, okay. Tell me what the song is.
This is actually from the Spitfire Grill. It's a song called Shine. So let's take a look at it now.
Thank you, Julie. Say my butt.
You're welcome, love.
I owe you $50.
The off-Broadway musical, The Spitfire Grill, follows a woman who, after serving time in jail, longs to re-enter society and lead a successful, productive life. Based on a 1996 film of the same name with music by James Flack and lyrics by Fred Alley, The Spitfire Grill's New York premiere was ill-timed, starting previews September 7th, 2001, 4 days before the world would change forever. The musical's theme of hope and rebirth are very evident in its leading character, Percy, in the song Shine.
There's darkness in me, as deep as this valley, and things that I done I can never repay. The days I regret are too many for counting. Their sins river water will not wash away. But if you can turn this whole valley to golden and burn till the colors of paradise shine, maybe a bright morning light can uncover a diamond of hope in this dark heart of mine. Morning light, shine on me, shine. Find a diamond of hope in this dark heart of mine. Morning light, shine on me, shine. Morning light, shine on me, shine. Shine on me, shine on me, shine.
There's a flicker of light, there's an ember of heat, there's a diamond of hope in this good heart of mine.
Yes. Wow, wow, wow. Yes. Well, people, as it turns out, it's time for me to get off the stage or get off the box. I just want to thank Matt Zarley, my Matt Zarley. I call him Snarly. Yes, Matt Zarley. We did Joseph together on The Great White Way, and he's been one of my friends ever since. And I just want to take this moment to say, I remember going over to Jeff Rizzo's house in the Valley in 1996, and he called because Jane Lanier and John Rubenstein introduced me to him, and we were like just New Yorkers that are living in LA. And he's like, let's, sit around the living room and just read some scripts and laugh and eat. And that was 1996. And it's still going on. The Musical Theater Guild is still going on from that living room. Now, I will never forget that night because it was like, when you're a New Yorker and then all of a sudden you move to LA, you're like, oh my God, my people are all together. We're all here. And the fact that they're still doing it is amazing. And especially at a time like this. So if you have an extra $1 million that you don't want, you know what? Go to the website, musicaltheaterguild.com, and, give some money, We'll take $500,000, whatever you have, And I just want you to know that this is why we do it as actors and performers and directors. And I hope you enjoy it and you can feel the love and you can feel the loss that we have to not being able to just to be with you and to hear applause and to hear laughter. We're missing it, but it's coming back. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to see you either in a box, a square box, a Zoom box, or 6 feet apart, or sitting next to you in a theater, because that's going to happen soon. Have a great night. Bye.
My guardian angel just resigned.
My ship of happiness is
I'm in a monumental bind.
I'm near the stupefying.
Look for the silver lining.
somewhere the sun is shining.
They wrote that song when they were drunk.
On only one thing we can rely. We're only born to die, 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 die. If that's our swan song, we're about to blow. Let's speak in one last blow, do before we throw in the towel. Let's say we did a little. Let's say we did a little. That college try before the fates play us foul and paint things back a little. Let's give them back a little, right in the eye. As long as the man in derbies comes to whisk you away, quicker than it takes to swat a fly. Let's let them say it's because we overdid a little. Let's live a little, as we go by.